Last fabulous speaker is Geoff Thompson. And he is a and Geoff, I'm sure you know a lot about the mental game. He's a 5 times world karate champion. He has a 35-year track record in social and human development of young people and delivers social and human initiatives on CSR, EDI, and the legacy benefits to communities globally. And again, when you talk, maybe you'll tell us what CSR is and EDI. He is the chair of the Youth Center, an international charity and a UN NGO, board member of the London Legacy Development Corporation, advisory board member of the Muhammad Ali Center, former chair of the board of the University of East London, and is currently chair of the Professional Footballers Association and deputy chair of the Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games. Wow. So he's going to talk to us about sport and physical activity in the mental, physical, and emotional health and well-being of youth and communities. And we welcome you, Geoff.
Thank you. I'm going to do what everyone else has done over the last number of hours, which is to share my screen. And in doing so, hopefully impart in a very succinct manner the ask, the story, the call to action, and what I believe brings together all that I've listened to and heard from my esteemed panelists, and to my organizers, who I wish to thank also for affording me this opportunity. I come at this from a very reversed journey as I take you through these slides. I know Larissa will agree the visualization that's taking place as I do so comes to my founding slide, which was sport as a legacy opportunity for all. And when I looked at defining a legacy and what amounts to what we leave behind, it is about an equal, diverse, and inclusive global community. It is about being corporately, socially responsible, because the interactive age that our young hearts and minds are now seduced and addicted to are driven by corporate interests. But as Larissa said, we have to have a common purpose and a common set of values that will see our young people and communities, inner city, suburban or rural, locally or globally, on any of the continents, I believe enjoy the fundamental human right of sporting, artistic and cultural activity in a well-rounded global citizen of rights and responsibilities. I'm a product of the 20th century, the very social grassroots development, performance and excellence that grew from the inequalities that I suffered because of the color of my skin, which is now the quality of my skin that I'm comfortable in, but my social, cultural, economic deprivation and disadvantage. The martial arts was afforded me as a means being able to simply have the mental, physical and emotional resilience and armor to withstand the challenges of life. I'm eternally grateful to those intolerant human beings who chased me in the streets, but a young widow of a mother who decided I needed to defend myself. And through that, I learned a curriculum for life, self-discipline, traveled the world, and had an incredible journey from streets to stadiums, occasionally to the rostrum and back to the streets. But it has always been with the understanding that sport must be equitably diverse and inclusive for all. 29 years ago, I was very much, as the potential bad boy made good, very much reflecting what 95% of the global winners in sport represent. They all come from socioeconomically deprived backgrounds, and a good number of them could have been behind bars or positively contributing to society. It's another consequence of when we do not allow an equally diverse and inclusive educational, healthy outlook to life, where society and communities foster an environment, a climate that sees us the product of our environment and contributing positively to our communities and society as a whole. 29 years ago, a 14-year-old schoolboy was shot dead on the street of Moss Side in Manchester, an area of historical deprivation. Manchester were bidding for the Olympics for 2000, and I was compelled to go back to the streets because I realized something had gone badly wrong. What I'd had provided for me was not provided for this young schoolboy. And it heralded the gang culture which is a result of poverty and lack of opportunity in mainland Britain. I decided to launch a charter because we have royal charters in this country. So I thought we needed a youth charter because we don't have a youth ministry in this country. And it was simply to provide, through sport, an opportunity to develop in life. I enlisted sportsmen and women. That's me on the left, possibly your right, because sometimes it's good to be different. But there you will see everything from race, disability, gender, whom you love, whom you don't, because as many would have said then, it's none of your business, but nonetheless, it was completely inclusive. And there are over 30 Olympic, world and European titles that I brought to highlight this charter and its importance. We've a proven, pioneered campaign and brokered 29-year journey that has inspired the Sport for Development for Peace movement. The office was developed at the UN in New York and has now relocated to Geneva. But how do we work collectively within the qualities of team sport that allows the Sustainable Development Goals, the sport, physical activity, and an ability to model, frame, and provide impact that supports the evidence and the data that tells us half of our global population will have no future world to inherit. We engage them through sport, art, culture, and digital technology, but not at the expense of the software between their ears. We equip them with emotional intelligence, resilience, and armor, and an aspiration where they can be the best that they can be. And when we empower them with an ambition of further higher education, employability, or entrepreneurship. To not do that is simply false hope. And our young people are too informed by their interactive thumbs and the 15 seconds of attention that they either have by choice, simply another opportunity or platform upon which to be engaged. We have developed over this journey of major games. All major games will talk about legacy, but legacy is what you leave behind. And we believe that sport, art, and cultural activity, which is highlighted in the games, allows us to work together and leave something tangible of social, cultural, economic impact that's a win-win-win for young people, communities, and society as a whole. Our projects and programs emanate from a community campus because we believe, as young people have said, as they're on the streets, they need somewhere to go. Whether it's one facility or a group of facilities, that is the campus. We need a curriculum for life, something that brings back to life our curriculum in the classroom, the playground, beyond the school gate, informal or formal, because it's something to do. Young people have far more diversity of choice. They are discerning consumers, and they know when we're selling them something that they don't want to work hard to achieve. But thirdly, someone to show them. As Larissa said, we are losing the participation because we don't have social coaches, in my mind, that develop relationships of trust, confidence, and respect, and a lifelong journey that's in our community, from our community, with our community. The issues are clear. We use 5 Sustainable Development Goals of the 17 in education, health, citizenship, the environment, and college, university, employment, and entrepreneurship. As I said, those are the 5 that we believe model what I believe needs a collaboration of holistic and integrated approach. But as I've said earlier, we have the stats, we have the data, we have the goals, and they can be adapted to those 5 core goals to reflect the local and influenced community. But to my mind, it's an intergenerational effort, but with young people at the very heart of our effort. What I'm going to show you now is the community campus, because as it comes alive, it is something that's very real. It's very much interactive, but it allows real-time data. It brings everything together, and was a result of many years of consultation before the pandemic, and we refined it during the pandemic. It is about bringing everything together, and if we do that, we can be more effective and efficient with our resources, our time, our energy, our inspiration, and provide the all-important confidence and investment, because we know our young people have moves, skills, gifts, and potential that we simply need to give them a chance to shine. This portal can be replicated in any community globally, but it allows us to work collaboratively. And the power of collaboration provides everything that we need to make the case we need to make. The project management, the flow is all about the back end of what we do and the very detailed nature of what I believe we need to produce with policy, strategy, and the more efficient and effective use of resource. At the end of the day, the output is participation, but the outcomes are those sustainable development goals that create that sustainable ecosystem. We have a call to action. 5 continents, 50 community campuses, 50,000 social coaches recruited, selected, and deployed from the community, by the community, with the community. 5 million young people directly engaged, with multiple millions of young people making up the hundreds of millions. Many people have said, why are we so ambitious? Well, it's very simple. When a young, priceless life does not have this opportunity, I've seen them dead on not their feet, but the streets. Inner city, suburban or rural, first world or third world, poverty leads to gangs, haves and have-nots. I believe sport and the arts is a vaccine and an antidote. It is not the treatment, it is not the solution. But I do believe that the right people for the right reasons and the right purpose can provide hope and opportunity. I was involved with the late President Mandela in post-apartheid South Africa, where he wanted to use sport and the arts as a vaccine to avoid a race war. And I walked into the townships and the haves and the have-nots of the Afrikaans and saw what could be achieved. What I share with you there is something that I will share with you when I have finished sharing my incredible journey in being here with you today. But the urgency has never been more evident. Larissa's points, data, and facts are real. These are all the issues that we now deal with, that we now are active in our wish to see them resolved. But as I've learned, only young people can make that happen, and we have to give them the resilience to do so. The social justice for sport for development is equally there. Those images, if shared, would tell a story, and story inspire lives. Our philosophy and vision is there, but ultimately it's inspired by Madiba. Vision without action is a dream. Action without vision is merely passing time. Vision with action can change the world. So I ask you to come together, become a team, become a movement. Let's give our young people hope and opportunity, and a legacy opportunity for all. Then we'll be able to feel very comfortable as we leave the world to those who will inherit the world. Thank you for listening.
Wow. Geoff, I think that you have really put the icing on the cake. Waiting for the, actually, if you'll stop sharing your screen, I think I could see everybody else again.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. There we go.
Stop.
Let's see.
I should do that. There we go.
There we go. Okay. So, yes, you have put the icing on the cake. And Larissa, you were in tears before, and I'm just in tears now. What I have been able to surmise from the wonderful speakers that we've had, sport, the arts, youth, movements working together worldwide, you people have answers. You know, a lot of times, oh, we have so many problems, we have so many, well, there are answers. And we just need more people to collaborate and come together to actually make these things happen. And we're going to move it on in just a minute back to our wonderful Loretta.